This video will give you chills. Mura Murray went missing on February 9, 2004. Her car was found damaged and abandoned in New Hampshire, and she's never been seen since. And in 2012, this man posted a video of himself just laughing, which is already strange, but his username is 112 Dirtbag, which Mura went missing off of Route 112, and her dad was on record saying that whoever took her was a dirtbag. And this video was posted on the 8th anniversary of her disappearance and ends with the words, "Happy anniversary." This is why you should always trust your instincts. Brenda OConnor always had a bad feeling about her neighbor, who lived in a cabin in the remote Sierra Nevada mountains. She even thought she saw him burying a body and wanted to call police, but her husband talked her out of it and instead invited over Robin Stapley, his friend, for added protection. But when police responded to a routine shoplifting call on June 2nd, 1985, the man they took into custody was using Robin Stapley's ID. But before police could question him, the man took a cyanide pill that he had sewn into his clothing and died. Police discovered his real name was Leonard Lake, and when they went to his cabin, they discovered the remains of Brenda and her family, and that was only the beginning of what they found, because Leonard Lake was a serial killer who didn't work alone. And that full story, along with others, is on my YouTube. Here's a fact to ruin your childhood. In The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, the mirror is voiced by this man, who's a child molester. He was arrested for sexually abusing a Nickelodeon child actor, and then after he was released, he went on to work on children's shows, including The Sweet Life. This woman is still at large. Maria Lapine is thought to be responsible for the deaths of 9 people: 3 husbands, 2 lovers, 2 friends, a business associate, and a funeral director. And in August of 1993, she reported that her half-sister had died so that she could collect a $100,000 life insurance policy. And in March of 1995, Maria reportedly died, and her mother and children collected a $500,000 life insurance policy. But in January of 1996, insurance investigators exhumed Maria's grave, but she wasn't inside, and forensics determined that there was never a body inside. So they exhumed Maria's half-sister's grave, and again, no body. And it turns out Maria's half-sister never even existed. She's got to be one of the dumbest criminals ever, because in 2012, Hanna Sabatta robbed a bank in Nebraska at gunpoint and got away with over $6,000. Until the next day, when she posted a video to YouTube entitled "Chick Bank Robber," where she wrote down on pieces of paper explaining that she had robbed a bank and stolen a car. She didn't even bother changing clothes from the robbery, and police obviously found the video, and now she's serving 10 to 20 years. This is why you should always lock your doors. Richard Chase was known as the Vampire of Sacramento because he believed in order to be happy and to stay healthy, he needed to consume the blood of animals or humans. And in the span of 1 month, he killed 6 people. And he wasn't just a murderer, he engaged in cannibalism and necrophilia. And after he was caught, police searched his apartment and found that the walls, ceiling, floor, refrigerator, and all his eating and drinking utensils were soaked in blood. And how he chose his victims was if their doors were unlocked. He took that as an invitation to come inside. It just doesn't make sense. This case is strange. Joshua Maddox went missing in 2008, and he wasn't found until 2015. When an unused cabin a quarter mile away from his home was being demolished, his body was found inside the chimney with his knees above his head, and the police ruled it an accidental death, and they said he climbed in from the top and got stuck. But that doesn't explain how he got in the chimney, because there was a metal grate on top of it blocking the entrance, and he couldn't have gone in through the fireplace because there was a heavy breakfast bar that had been ripped out of the wall and pushed in front of it. Or why he was only wearing a shirt. All his other clothes were folded up inside the cabin. So he would have had to have been inside the cabin, taken off his clothes, gone outside, climbed up on the roof, and then tried to enter the cabin again through the chimney? What did these people really see on the night of December 11, 2002? Multiple witnesses reported seeing a car swerve off the road, go down an embankment, and crash into the underbrush. But when police arrived there was no evidence of a crash, no wreckage, no debris, and the underbrush wasn't even disturbed. But then they saw something deep in the brush. It was a wrecked car. And not far from that was the skeleton of the driver, Christopher Chandler. The only problem was the car hadn't crashed that night. It had crashed 5 months earlier, so